I just rewatched Halloween Part 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, and it captures 1995 perfectly, down to the total misunderstanding of how computers work.
The thorn symbol is actually a constellation of stars that appears from time to time on Halloween night.
I haven't watched this movie in probably 30 years, but it still left me with a bunch of questions. Like, why did Michael suddenly turn on the cult? Who the hell got Jamie pregnant? And how did Paul Rudd get any work after this? I love Paul Rudd. What the f*** is up, Internet? Welcome to the channel, and thank you for checking out this episode of The Reviewer. My first impressions of this movie, man, I feel like all of them, except for the first one so far, and the third one. The third one was just garbage. Just all feel like missed opportunities. Like, this movie has like the bones of a good Halloween movie, right? There's like suspense. Anytime Michael's in the house, it's like intense, right? Like, that's there. And Michael's a badass. But then you just have all this cult stuff. For how the last movie left things was, Michael getting fucking broken out of jail while he was wearing his mask and lockup is so fucking funny. I guess that it fits, right? But I would assume a lot of people feel this way, but we don't want to know why Michael is a murderous madman. We just want to see him do the shit. I knew that people weren't high on this movie, but I kind of was like, well, they weren't high on 5 either, and I kind of liked that. And there's definitely parts of this movie that I liked. But yeah, my expectations were pretty low. So maybe even the things I did like are a result of that. But yeah, I was like, let's just get this Thorn shit over with, right? But now, I told myself when I started this series that I wasn't going to review the producer's cut. But now after watching this, and I was gonna try to reference what was different between the two. Now I feel like I have to watch the other one, so I'm not done with Thorn quite yet.
Runes are a kind of early alphabet that originated at about 500 BC.
The opening scene, at first you're like, I've watched this before, but like rewatch, and then a lot of times I try to put myself in the shoes of someone who's never seen the shit before. And like I parts of the movie I remember, parts of it I don't. But like right off the bat, you're just like, who the fuck is this lady, right? Who's this lady giving birth? And then you got to look at a baby's dick. Like, you couldn't, like, have covered up the baby's dick while you put the Thorn logo on his chest? Like, what the fuck?
There's something awfully screwy going on around here.
There's, like, a lot of, like, slashing, right? The slashing sound. And these, like it's 1995 for sure. Like, you're getting all these crazy-ass cuts. You really don't even really know what's going on at first. And then the nurse helps Jamie escape. And then the first time you see Michael, he's killing this chick. Jamie gets away. She gets to a bus station. She dumps the kid, which I don't know why she thought to do that. And then Michael kills her, which, I mean, we'll get to the kills later on, but man, what a gnarly fucking kill. And we also have this like whole thing with the radio, like she's calling into the radio, everybody's listening to the same radio station. But it was an interesting way how they like brought in all of our characters through the radio, even though it seemed a little weird at the time. Thinking back on it, like we kind of are like brought up to speed of what's going on. Even the characters are like, oh shit, is that Jamie? I don't know, it's pretty weird.
Now who's coming?
Michael.
like I said, this movie does have the bones of a good Halloween movie, at least the Michael part, right? Everything else is just so convoluted. I feel like they had like a bunch of ideas and they just kind of tried to mash it together, because you got the redhead lady, her kid, they're gonna kidnap her kid to make him the new Michael Myers. The family's crazy. The mom's like super protective. The dad is like abusive. Like the brother is just, I mean, there's just like so much like going on, when all you really want to do is put our characters in their place, let us find a way to make us care about these characters, and then let Michael slash through them. That's all we really need. All this explanation, all this like other stuff, this cult, I mean, then this whole like, I didn't really think about it until just this moment, but the cult is gonna do something with the baby to turn the kid into Michael, the new Michael. How is that even supposed to work? And then they had all these surgeons that Michael just killed them all. What do they need? I don't know. Example A. Like, what the hell was going on? They could have just simplified this so goddamn much, right? Paul Rudd, his character, finds out that Michael's still kicking. Like, you know, even you can just take the Man in Black out of it. Like, show Michael kill him at the beginning of part 6, like he killed the hobo in part 4. Kill him off. Michael's on the run. You know what I mean? He finds out Jamie, this is years later, he finds out that Jamie has a kid. He's trying to stalk Jamie and the kid. Paul Rudd gets involved. You know, that's all you had to do. You didn't have to do all this other wacky shit. And then we got Michael driving again, which is a huge pet peeve of mine. I just find it so bizarre that Michael would just be cruising around. Like, he runs Jamie off the road. Paul Rudd deciphers the whole radio thing. He goes to the fucking bus stop or the train station, whatever the fuck it is, and he finds the kid. Like, there's people everywhere in this place. Nobody spotted the blood trail, or heard a kid crying in the bathroom. Like, nobody like went to change the towels. Like, how the fuck was he the one to find the kid? That shit was bonkers. Michael hid the fucking bodies in the tree and it rained down on some kid. Like, what the hell, man? That shit was bonkers too. Like, what was going on there? That is kind of like a horror movie trope, though, where somebody's just kind of wandering around and blood's dripping on them, they find a body, but like, nobody saw Michael. Like, when did he take the time to hide this person up in the tree? I think it was a podcaster guy, which is a whole nother fucking weird angle to the plot here. Like, what were they doing with that? I feel like they just kind of brought him in just to get killed, right? They kind of wanted, like, the dad wasn't enough of a dick. We needed this podcaster to do some dickish shit, so we root for him getting killed too.
I hate you! I hope you die!
And so when the cult and the Man in Black, they kidnap the redhead and her kid. Like, she jumps out a window to escape. And then everybody's gone, and then you just see Paul Rudd and Loomis out there, like, looking at her outline on the ground. Like, they kidnapped them but just let Paul Rudd and Loomis like go free. What was that all about?
Why didn't they just kill us?
It's his game.
And of course they just showed up to where the cult stuff was going on, and I guess they didn't really influence anything other than they killed, you know, Paul Rudd's character Tommy Doyle. He like killed Michael at the end. Michael had already like decided to kill all the doctors for some reason. I don't understand what a heel turn. What prompted that? I don't get it. Paul Rudd finds the redhead like no problem. The security in this place in Smith's Grove, the cult section, I don't know, the underground, like it reminded me of part 3 when dude found the girl and all the doors were unlocked, and it was like so easy to find her and help her escape. Although there was that weird ass crackhead lady down there, like,
he walks amongst us, brother. He's come back.
I guess they're trying to say, look, they're harvesting babies all over the goddamn place. But like, that's like a whole separate story. Like, I think they were just trying to give us a jump scare, and that's what they came up with. And then Michael just shows up. He's just kind of like lurking around down there. He just comes out, looks around. Oh shit, there's fucking Tommy Doyle. I think I remember that kid. And that's the only time in this movie we get like something like, because the whole time Paul Rudd just is like a guy, right? You don't even, he looks like Paul Rudd, but he doesn't act anything like Paul Rudd up until this point when he's like beating the lock with the fire extinguisher, and he looks over and Michael's creeping forward and he does like a look like and then he's like bashing it. Like, that's the only Paul Ruddism we get in this whole fucking movie. Tommy Doyle was such a weirdo, right? Like, even down to like killing Michael at the end. Like, his character, he started out, he was a creeper from like the jump. He was like creeping on the neighbor lady. Like, there was nothing really to like about him. But since they like in the credits introducing Paul Rudd, this is his first movie, so I wonder how. I mean, they're obviously not gonna know what his skill set is if this is his first gig, but man, it just feels like I don't know what they would have done differently to like make it more Paul Ruddish. It would have been, they really couldn't have. I had such a weird casting, just because you kind of know what Paul Rudd is now, like Ant-Man. Ant-Man and Tommy Doyle, I mean, it's just like fucking milk and oil. This shit just does not mix.
What the hell happened here?
The redheaded lady, she was alright, right? She was a fine final girl. Her kid was weird as fuck. Man, what a weird ass kid. He just looked weird. It sticks out to me when he had his hat on backwards. Like, what a fucking nerd.
I love you, Danny. Love you. Give me a squeeze.
Right, and then he does the whole fucking Carl thing where, like, at the end when Michael's in the house and he runs in, right? And then so she has to go in and fucking get her kid. And Michael's in there, and then somehow he gets knocked down some stairs, and then she's trying to find her kid, and he's like, just happens to be on the other side of Michael on the stairs. Like, oh my god, this kid was such a fucking hassle. And then he gets kidnapped. He's just like, I don't know, it was just watching TV, like kidnapped, and just, I don't know. The kid was just too much to handle for me.
Mommy?
The redhead's dad, I mean, I understand why they put him in the movie. They wanted him to be a dick. They wanted us to root for him getting murdered, which was a pretty sick ass kill, not gonna lie. But that whole scene where he's being abusive, he slaps his own kid in front of the whole family, and then the kid's there with the fucking knife to his gut, like trying to imply, yeah, this kid is literally gonna be the new Michael Myers. And it's like, dude, the next scene he's got his hat on backwards, all fucking weird, and you're like, nobody's gonna be afraid of this guy. Tommy Doyle goes to the hospital with the baby, and Loomis just happens to be there, and that interaction is so goofy. Like, if Paul Rudd was like literally insinuating to Loomis, hey look, I got Jamie's baby, and Loomis just lets him go on about his business, doesn't give a fuck, it's so crazy.
She is the last of his bloodline.
No, Dr. Loomis. She's not the last.
Tommy, wait! Wait!
the best thing about this movie is how badass Michael was. Like, I still don't like the mask. I still don't like how he looked in it. But they did a really good job of like keeping him in the dark, right? Like they didn't show him that much. The ending, they showed him way too much. Like that whole fight scene thing, the mask was just goofy. I mean, I don't like the spiked hairdo. But he was a badass. The kills were sick. Like he was a badass, right? That's all you really need. I get that they kind of paint themselves in the corner because you can't just keep making the same movie over and over again. So you have to add these different details into it. But man, they just went overboard with the whole cult thing. I mean, I think it comes back to John Carpenter even talking about it. Like he wishes that he didn't make it a family thing. I mean, it kind of does make it. It separates all the other stuff. Like you have Jason's got his mom, Michael has his sister. You know what I mean? Or his family. So I don't know if Michael Myers would be quite as popular without that whole family dynamic. They just painted him in such a corner, right? Like even the last three movies, when they tried to say that wasn't the case, but then like how are Michael and Laurie like constantly still meeting up the whole time, the whole trilogy? And my biggest complaint from like the second movie in this, he's just wandering around in public, not killing anybody because he's on such a crash course to get to Laurie. So you have to kind of come up with this goofy shit to put out new ideas. You don't want to keep making the same. Nobody's gonna want to watch the same shit. But you got to get the formula down. And nobody wants to know why Michael's doing what he's doing. Just make him a badass. The direction of the movie, like, I guess I won't really know the difference between this one. I don't know the difference between this one and the producer's cut. Like, I think this one looked good. They did do some like weird camera tricks, like the whole Jamie death scene where she's in the barn and she sees like flashes of Michael in the barn. It's kind of strange. Just make it normal, right? Like I don't know what they were trying to get there. You could have him just kind of like ducking out of shadows or something instead of having him like flash through, like disappear, become transparent. Whatever the fuck they were trying to do there, it was kind of goofy. That distracted me. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to say like the guy did a bad job because that's the product you have. I guess if I see the comparison, I'll know better the next review how I feel about how it was directed, I guess, because I'll have something to actually compare it to.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
The music and the sound was like fine, right? Like, it probably sound like a broken record if you've watched all of these, but yeah, it really comes down to if it sucked is when you notice it, right? Like other than that, the music is fine. I kind of had to go back and kind of pick through to find the theme in it because the theme's not in it all that much, to be honest. There's one early, they play it. I forget what it was, what was going on there. But it's kind of like really digitally enhanced and fast. And then there's another scene that I picked out where it was like low and kind of subdued. There's a lot of like quiet. Like the tension is built a little bit differently in this movie where, you know, like when the dad gets killed, like you don't hear anything. It's just him. And the drama is how slow he's doing shit. Like he's opening up the washer and it's really fucking slow and it's kind of boring, but you are like, what the fuck is in the washer, right? The most annoying thing was the like stabby stuff that like the cuts. Oh my god, that was annoying as hell.
God, he's coming.
I feel like that was kind of like overdone early, but then I didn't really notice it too much as the movie went on. But yeah, that was annoying. But other than that, I mean, it's just, I can't really complain about anything other than, yeah, the theme wasn't in it that much, and yeah, that stabby shit was annoying.
Danny. Kill for him.
There's some pretty good kills in this movie. We definitely got a bunch of them. Some of them are your standard shit, but we start out with, you know, the first scene we see Michael. The first thing he does is he picks that nurse up and fucking impales her head on that spike in the hallway. That was a banger. That was a good way to start as far as showing us how badass Michael was. That's for sure. Then we got, I guess the guy was like a railroad worker. I don't know what the hell he was, but Michael dispatched him while Jamie was stealing his truck. She's like, no. That was pretty good. That whole chase scene, that whole first scene, other than like the weirdness with the cult shit, was pretty good. Like the chase, she gets to the barn. Jamie's kill was fucking... We'll talk about that one last, because I think that one was probably the best kill in the whole movie.
Spoiler alert.
Then we got the mom. The mom gets killed, and that was probably the most suspenseful part of the movie, because Michael's in the house, right? He's in the house before, then Loomis shows up, and he's still in the house. Right? Like, him creeping around the house is scary as fuck, really. You kind of assume that he's just in there the whole time. Right? Like, he may have been. I mean, I don't know if he left the shit unless he went out to kill somebody. But that kill was really suspenseful. Like, and then it was pretty good. It was a pretty... The kill itself was kind of standard. I think Michael looked kind of funny. The way he, like, swung the axe. Dad's kill was probably the most satisfying, just because it catches you off guard so crazy. Like when he slaps his daughter in the mouth, you're just like, what the fuck this guy, right? Like, what a piece of shit. And then yeah, Michael electrocutes his ass, and you're just like, oh shit, that's crazy. Then just randomly at the end, the dude's head explodes, and you're like, what the fuck? How many volts is that? I already talked about the podcast guy. His kill was pretty lame. I don't know. He didn't even really see it, I don't think. Unless he broke his neck there, but I think it just showed him grab him. I mean, I don't even think it showed him kill him. And then it showed him in the tree later on. I think that was him. Yeah, then the redhead's brother got killed in the shower, which the weirdest part about that kill is that, dude, as soon as they're done hooking up, he's like, all right, I'm gonna jump in the shower. Like, the girl had to be like, god damn, I got cooties. He goes and gets in the shower, he gets killed. And then he kills his girlfriend, and that shit was pretty brutal. He's just hacking at her, and I mean, I think it makes it even crazier that the redhead is just watching it. Like, she had to watch the whole goddamn thing, and that made it even more brutal.
Look out, there's someone in the room. He's right behind you.
And then Michael just kills all those doctors, which probably would have been pretty sick if you got to see anything. I mean, there was just like some flashes of some stuff. But yeah, I was still confused why he just went in, like he just turned heel and went in there and whacked them all. But I mean, they could have done something way better with that than just flashy 1995 camera bullshit. So that one was like, it was sick because it just, again, shows how badass Michael is. But it just sucks that you don't really get to see what the hell he's doing in there. The only other real kill is when he kills that doctor in the hallway by bashing his head, like knocking down the door with his head. Jesus, that was fucking brutal. That's a classic one for sure. That's a top 3 kill. I guess I would probably put Jamie's kill is the best for sure. That shit was sick when he went to like, because you're like, wait, what's going on here? When he was putting his hands out and then he just pushes her down deeper onto the fucking spikes. And then turns the machine on. Jesus, that was fucking crazy. So a lot of people complain about Jamie dying early in that movie, but I think they gave her one of the best kills in the whole fucking, at least up until this point. Like, that was a gnarly kill. And then what? The nurse? Because he picked her up and stuck her head on that spike. And then this doctor. That was pretty crazy. The dad's one was pretty good too. I guess I would put the dad's death, because especially with the head exploding. That's a top 3 kill. And I would say the doctor in the hallway is probably the other top 3 kill. But definitely Jamie's death was fucking sick.
You can't have the baby, Michael.
You do get like Michael dying at the end. That whole green goo thing was really strange. I mean, the guy's gotten shot up. He's gotten burnt. Yeah, so why not inject him with something you don't know what is, right? Like maybe that'll be what kills him. And then you just see his mask on the ground. I wonder why he left without his mask. I guess that was kind of just like a theatrical choice. I mean, the message of this movie to me is, bro, move the fuck out of hat. Like, why is anybody living in this town anymore? Every fucking 4 years, Michael Myers goes on a killing spree and nobody can seem to stop him. I mean, don't live in that house. Don't live in the town. Like, Loomis, move the fuck away. Like, what a cursed ass town. But yeah, there's no real, like, the shit is just so bonkers that there's no, like, real, like, message, overall message in this movie. Like, don't join a cult. Don't kill your family, right? Don't have a kid with your fucking homicidal uncle, I guess. I feel like they're trying to imply that Michael fucked Jamie. Who got her pregnant? And I'm just going back on what I said from the beginning. Like, my impressions of this movie are, it's a missed opportunity. I think it could have been pretty good if they would have decided, look, let's just get rid of this Men in Black thing. That's not our story. Like, this was written by other people. Like, just kill that guy off. And yeah, it's fine to say, oh, well, Jamie's still around. She has a kid now. They could have done a bunch of different stuff with this. But because Michael is still badass in it, and he looks pretty good, and there's still some suspense, it's still a good Halloween movie, right? Like, it's not as bad as people... It's bad, right? Like, it's pretty... That stuff makes it bad. But it's still, like, the kills are good. The suspense is good. Michael's badass. Loomis is in it. Right? Like, if you could just minimize all that stuff in your mind, the cult stuff when you're watching it, I think it's still a pretty good Halloween movie. That's the bones are there. I mean, I would recommend people watch this. If you're a Halloween fan and you've already, like, stomached 4 and 5, which 4 and 5 are still pretty good in my book. This is definitely the weakest of the 3. This one's pretty bad compared to those 2, but, like, you kind of have to see where it goes, even if it's disappointing. Right? So I would recommend that you do that. And like I said, this is the best Michael's looked in a minute, right? Up until the ending. Even the mask at the ending isn't that bad. Like, it doesn't look like he doesn't look like an alien or any of that shit. So it looks like a Michael Myers mask. His body's still kind of like a little funky. And the hair's kind of what throws it off. But yeah, if you just want to see Michael Myers be a badass and kill some people in cool ways, this is definitely you definitely need to watch this one. I gotta make a list of how I have these ranked so far. Like, if I'm ranking this one, giving this a 1 through 10, I'm assuming that I gave 5 a 5 or a 6. So this has got to be a 4 or a 5. Like I said, the bones are there, but it's just so disappointing because of the whole thorn shit. It's so weird. Like like showing Michael's tattoo and stuff. Like, why is Michael's tattoo on his fucking wrist? But they had to put the big ass like marking on the baby. I don't know. The cult shit is so stupid. It really is bad. It drags this movie down so much. They could have just moved on. They could have just been like, yeah, okay, this shit ain't going anywhere. But yeah, I'm saying it's in the 5th spot, right? Part 3 is still worse than this, but this is still pretty bad. And that's my review. Let me know in the comments what you think. Did I nail it, or am I totally fucked in the head? Anyway, that's all I have for now. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.